He's Out There is a film starring Yvonne Strahovski. Is that how you say her name? I know her as Hannah McKay on Dexter. I was a big Dexter fan until that last season. We've talked about that on here. Ooh, that last season. Oh my good God. Anyways, so this was recently put out, I want to say within the last week, but I could be wrong on that. I know it was really, really recent though, like in the last week or two. The pics for the movie looked pretty cool, so I didn't even bother with a trailer. A pretty easy sell when it comes to like home invasion, slasher type movies, and that's exactly what this is. The plot is extremely simplistic, as one would expect with this subgenre of horror. And, I mean, the film plays out pretty typically. There's some standout things. Overall, I left feeling kind of fine about it. It definitely is run-of-the-mill in a lot of ways. And even though there are things that I took from it that I was like, I kind of like that, and I kind of like that. There's small things. There's not a lot of bad character decisions, which is nice. But things are drawn out for a long period of time, stretching scenes a little longer than they need to be. And what I mean by that is like, even though the character might not be making a terrible decision, she's making a extra long one. So she needs to go check out this noise, and checking out this noise actually makes sense in this context of the film, but it's taking her forever to get there, and I get that it's creating tension, but it just seems like they're padding a weak script. Like, we have 50 pages, and we need to make this 90 minutes long, so we'll just have her etch really slowly. Kind of reminds me of Halloween in that way. Not this movie, but what I'm talking about in the sense that I've always been under the assumption that the Halloween script, just watching the film, I'm sitting there like, how can this script be any more than 50 pages long? There's so much just long takes of people like walking. You guys know that's my favorite fucking horror film of all time. But films like this, and they pad out scenes, so they're just like, here we go, she's slowly walking. Anyways, I feel like that I'm stretching out this review now. The end, I thought they were going to go a certain way, and I was kind of excited, and then they didn't, and I was like, Jen, typical bullshit. So it's like $7 right now. I would not pay that to rent it. $7. If it like comes to a Redbox, or if it's thrown up on Netflix and you're looking for a decent genre, home invasion type film, I'd check it out. The look of the killer is pretty good. I mean, nothing extremely memorable. I wouldn't be able to pick him out of a lineup or anything, but in the movie, he looked fine. And he has a moment or two that was surprising, and it's just a mixed bag. It's not terrible, and there wasn't much in the movie that I was like, no. It was just kind of fine. Like, it was just like, that went there and this went there. So it's just a typical run-of-the-mill genre film, and that's not a bad thing for fans like me. It's just, you wish that they gave it just a little extra. And that's all a film like this needs. It doesn't need a ton more. Like, it needs just extra fun scenes that are unique spins on things, and it would propel it enough to make it memorable. And this is one that, if you ask me about it in a year, I'll be like, which one is that again? And you'll explain it to me, and I'll be like, yeah, I kind of remember that. Outside of it starring, Yvonne, who's a very beautiful woman, so I never have any problems looking at her. And she was just in The Predator as well, so she's getting a lot of work right now, which is great. yeah, it wouldn't be something I remembered all that much. But as I said, it's not a terrible film to check out if it gets thrown on Netflix or Shudder or Amazon Prime or something, which I'm sure undoubtedly it will in the next 6 months. So if you see it on there, you're looking for a home invasion movie, and you got nothing else to watch, it's not a total waste of time. I know that's not a glowing review by any means, but horror fans like myself will know exactly what I'm talking about. So anyways, if you've seen this already, let me know. And other than that, adios, guys. One thing I wanted to tack on to the end here, I've actually watched an entire other film now since I finished doing the review that you just saw 1 second ago. But while I was watching that movie, I was like, wait a minute, I totally forgot to talk about the kids in this movie. I know kid actors in movies can ruin experiences for a lot of people, whether they're good or not. A lot of the times, people just seem to hate children in movies altogether. I've seen a lot of shit being talked about the kids in this movie and how annoying they are and how much they're whining and crying and whatever. These people do not have children, clearly. Okay? I know I'm a dad and I'm always going to go on the defensive about my kids and all that, but that's not what this is about. This woman has 2 children in this movie, and they act like fucking kids. I think the little actresses they got here, were great. They act like children would in a horrendous situation. Are you kidding me? My kids whine and complain and cry all the time when nothing's happening. When a serial killer was trying to get us, they would be freaking the fuck out, complaining every 5 seconds. Yes, they complain every 5 seconds anyways. So I don't know, when I was reading those things, I was like, this person doesn't have kids. This person doesn't have kids. Or this person has kids and they're fucking tired of them and they use movies as escapism and they're like, stop bringing me back to my life. But I don't know. I just wanted to talk about that really quick here. I was thinking about it when I was watching the movie. I was like, I forgot to fucking mention them. So I didn't even upload the video because I was just like, I need to tack this on at the end because I want to talk about these kids. I thought the little girls here were great, honestly. And I thought they acted like kids would act in this situation. In fact, they act like kids act in every situation, okay? So maybe this will be a little reminder to you guys. If this annoys you, you probably shouldn't have them. Anyways, for real this time, adios.